way too bright. Let me see if I can reposition some lighting here to make it better. Let's see. Where's the... I'm so stupid at this. See if I can get this better here. No, still too bright. Still too bright. Hold on. Let me try to change things up a bit here. Stay with me, boys. Try turning off these lights. I know it's going to be too dark. Oh, is that better? All right. Yeah, now you can see me. A little bit better, not getting blinded by the light. Blinded by the light. Revved up like a deuce, another ruler in the night. What's going on, guys? I know I was gonna do our final laser episode tonight, but I just thought, you know what? I'm just tired. Just want to relax. It's Friday night. Let's get a chance to see what's going on with you guys. And what's up, Smell and Great Sword Chad? I'd like to draw that's it. And Eric Wolf Grave. How you guys doing? First week of school done. 6 more to go until you get your week off. Jeez, that's rough, man. I'd never want to go back to school for anything. Like, even after college, I went and did a Cicerone course, which, if you know, you probably don't, but Cicerone is for the ultimate, getting ready for high school now. Jeez, you're just getting ready for high school? Wow. Good Lord. Yeah, I went for a Cicerone course, which is, in my industry, it's the people that, you know beer the best. Like, we know everything about beer. You know, the difference between the different styles and the different IBUs and oh my God, it's just so painful. And I hated every minute of it. Today we're going to learn how to make candles out of bacon grease at negative 22 degrees Celsius while it's snowing. Yes, sir. That's the key. I've got my little mini fire pit going here because it's not, I'll show you, it's not a real fire pit. It's just the propane one to keep it real. But yeah, I've moved forward a little bit here. I never want to do schooling again. Studying sucks, dude. Absolutely sucks. But so I'm going to learn us that. I'm going to learn you that type of stuff. Yes, sir. I'm going to teach you the ways. But yeah, that's pain. I never want to do schooling or studying or anything like that again. And I would strongly recommend to you guys that don't take my word as gospel, but I just want to make sure you understand. Going through high school is great. Get your social connections, learn what you can in high school, but think twice before you actually decide to go to an institution of higher learning like college or something. Just think twice before you do that, because nowadays, like years ago, it was a rite of passage. You had to go to college, you had to go to university to be qualified to get any job. But nowadays, college is a scam. It's literally a scam. And it just, you come out of it with so much debt. and you don't learn anything there additional beyond what you had. Like you'll remember a few things, but God, I'm gonna pull out my spy cigarette tray here. But I had a guy I interviewed when I've got my own department at where I work, and I've got 15 direct report employees. And so, I was hiring one time because we had an opening, and he came to me in the interview, and I said, "What's your biggest professional regret so far?" And he said, "Going to college." And I was like, "You're hired." Because I already knew him beforehand because he had another job at the company already, and I'd been watching him, and I knew he was a good guy. I knew he knew his stuff, and he was a hard worker. But the fact that he was willing to say that in a job interview, saying going to college was a dumb idea for my long-term future, that was good. And then of course I didn't say right off the bat you're hired. I did the standard amount of time. You got to go through all the interviews and stuff. And he, it was funny because I ask my last interview question when I interview prospective hires is, how many jelly beans could you fit in a suitcase? And the ones, if anybody ever gives you that kind of question during a job interview, you have to answer and answer by asking the question back, asking, like, how big is the suitcase? Can you give me the dimensions? Show that you are understanding of, like, you want to grasp the problem first. You know what I'm saying? Because some employees, some prospective hires will say, you ask them that question, how many jelly beans can you fit in a suitcase? And they say 3,000, and they don't seek any more information at all. And that's what you got to look for. Well, I mean, that's great sword, Chad. We got to find a time that you can actually join us sometime, huh? Jalen looks like my grandpa if he was still young. Probably. Well, if and when you do apply for a job, because you will have to at some point, you will need a job. It's an inevitability to make a living, unless you win the lottery or something. But you want to be good. You want to be aggressive but good. So how did y'all's Fridays go, or your week in general even? I'll tell you about my Friday. I worked a half day. My job it was painful in the morning, but I was ready at like 11 o'clock. I shut it down. I was like, okay, that's enough. My dad went into the emergency room apparently this morning because he had a blood clot in his leg. So that was fun, but he's going to be okay. They gave him medication for it and everything. But thank God he noticed it, because like he just felt that pain and he knew it was there, because that's a widowmaker kind of situation if that blood clot reaches your heart. So thank you, Lord, that we found that out. And so then I just worked out, and just in time he got out, and we all met at a place for dinner. My sister and my parents took my sister and I out to dinner because our birthdays are like 2 days apart. So hers was Monday, mine was Wednesday, and we had the nice pizzas and martinis and everything. It was really nice. It was a good night out. So following that, I'm just kind of like, I don't feel like playing tonight. Maybe a little later I'll get on and play, but not right now. Great Sword Chad, you're in France? Holy crap. Guess who's in France right now? Sebash. Sebash is in France. You gotta try to talk to him. He's on Steam as Cero Steam, but we got to get you guys connected. I don't know where in France he is, but hey, what's up, Cat? Welcome to the Thunderdome. Cat, you got a new room. Okay, cool. I'm trying to scroll through the chat here. I figured out how to do it landscape, by the way, unlike last time. Thank you very much. Oh, Cat. So you're in that European area too, huh? Oh, Eric Wolf, don't worry about it, man. You gotta go to bed. Go to bed. Get some rest. We'll always be here. We are going to live forever. Oh, that's right. You're in Bosnia. I forgot. I'm sorry. Central European summertime. Thanks. Well, this is East Coast US of A. God bless America. But yeah, how's all your Fridays? No, well, actually, Sebash is visiting from Peru, so you don't speak the same language. I don't think, unless he's been taking French lessons in college. He's probably in bed by now, though. So, but that's funny. You're both there at the same time. My only trip to France was I was staying in San Remo in Italy, and we took the train across to Monte Carlo, which I guess, isn't technically France, maybe, but yeah, we definitely Monaco, definitely gambled a little bit there at the casino. That was fun. A lot of money there. Good Lord. Bugattis everywhere. What do you mean, what is Steam, Great Sword? Steam is... Steam's the Valve application. Cat only visits Serbia, Croatia, and Bosnia. Okay. Eric Wolf Graves takes French lessons because I don't plan to travel around the world. I don't think I'll focus on learning French. Yeah. To French as a language, it's helpful, but when you learn any Romance languages, you get the basics down for, all those Latin descendant languages, I guess. Like, I took Spanish forever, and I'm still somewhat competent in it, but I find I can read a lot of Italian. I can read a little bit of, Portuguese. I took Portuguese too, being Portuguese, but I never actually delved into it that much. I can read some French. Like, the words are similar in some cases. In some cases, they're not, but, it's all good. Learning Arabic in your school, but you want to give up. It's too hard. Arabic specifically, and not like Farsi or any of those, because Arabic, yeah, I would think that's probably hard. If there's any language I would want to learn at this point, like I took some Russian lessons, I took Chinese for a couple years. I remember little bits and pieces of everything, but there's one language I definitely want to learn. It's Hebrew. I know, like some biblical Hebrew words and Aramaic words in there, but Hebrew is definitely one that I would go for. Eric Wolf, you want to learn German and Russian. Both of them have similar words with the Dutch language. Yeah, okay. You're a phone, great sword Chad, you're a phone master race, like you don't use computers in investing on your phone. I don't know what that means. You're shopping, listening to my stream. Oh, God. What are you shopping for? I like to draw. I would say, you know what pains me about German and Russian and, Latin itself is the declensions. And Russian and German, I think, both have some wild declensions. But German, at least, I think, is close enough to English that you can get a grasp on it better. Like it shares a lot of words in English, and Russian is a beautiful language, but the Cyrillic alphabet's another little bit of a pain. Not too hard to get a grasp of. Hebrew has almost the same words. Yes, they do share a lot of words. Absolutely. Getting some stuff at the house. You're low on food and supplies. I have to learn German in school, but you hate it. They force you to. Damn. Nein. Can you feel the Schadenfreude? Ugh, no thanks. Oh, you play JK, I have Call of Duty mobile nukes videos on my channel under my before after lose weight video. Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. Great sword Chad. I don't think I've actually looked up your videos yet. I'll have to check them out. But if you had oh, maybe I did. Did I comment on yours? Maybe I commented on yours. I can't remember. Sorry, guys. It's just a lot of people, and I don't connect your names to what I've seen before. It's funny because there'll be some times when I talk to somebody and I'm like, oh, yeah, we should totally hang out. And they're like, dude, I'm, their screen name is like Jimmy123, and their YouTube channel is hot dog on a cake or something. And I'm like, oh, we should hang out. And they're like, no, dude, I'm Jimmy123. Don't you remember? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm sorry. Am I the only guy that uses the same channel for my YouTube and for my actual Steam profile? Goodness. Having the basic words of German. Yeah. You can pretend to be a medic. Nice. Learning German while knowing English and Dutch makes it much easier. I agree with that, probably. Learning Russian while knowing Dutch is somewhat decent to learn if you know the letters. Yeah, again, the Cyrillic alphabet, that's the key. Stream is the best because we all enjoy having a talk with Chandler. Oh, thank you. Muito bem, muito bem. Yep. Again, yeah, Cyrillic is not that bad. It's just an added little bonus ducks for learning Russian or any language like that. Macedonian, another one. I loved Macedonia. My God, I would retire there if I could. In Skopje. God, such a good place. Mostly because the dollar goes so far. But most of the time, medic gaming only because the name changing function is easiest compared to other platforms. Yeah, I get it. Irish, English, and American English. Oh, jeez, accents. Don't forget Scottish English now. I feel like, so, tangentially here, the five eyes. The five eyes. Like, visual eyes, not the letter I. The five eyes are New Zealand, Australia, U.S., Canada, and Great Britain. And they're all the English-speaking nations of the world. And we share a strategic intelligence community. Like, we keep an eye. For some reason, we decided to form this over the fact that we all speak English. Those 5 countries share this Intel group. And I don't know, it's just funny because I've met people from all those countries. I've met people from Australia, New Zealand, etc. And I still have to say that the Scottish people are just, their pronunciation of English is, it can be painful. It's a tough one. I don't know if I can stomach that. I do want to go to Scotland though at some point. You signed up for art too, so hopefully you get in. Well, you like to draw, that's it. I mean, if you like to draw and that's it, then hopefully art too should have your thing. Worst part of having a Dutch accent is that people in the Netherlands just butcher the English words. It just doesn't feel right to talk English while having a Dutch accent. I don't know, Eric Wolf. I gotta hear you in voice chat on stream to tell how bad your accent is. Sound like an old Russian man that screams at his teammates in Counter-Strike when you speak English. I think the only phrase I know in its entirety, and you got to give me a second here because I got to remember the Boris Pasternak. Boris Pasternak was the poet. I've told you this before, probably, maybe. But Boris Pasternak was the only Christian poet in the Soviet Union in during the Cold War, and the Soviet Union they were hardcore atheists, and they were persecuting Christians like crazy. But Boris Pasternak was so popular they didn't lay a finger on him because there would have been an uprising. And so, but he's a devout Christian, and he wrote the poem Magdalena, which I got tattooed a verse from that on my back. And if we ever do like a Jalen workout stream or a Jalen swimming stream or something, you'll be able to see it. But it's from the poem Magdalena, and it says, "I will endure these days until at last I witness the resurrection. Что за этот страшный промежуток до воскресения дорасту." That's my Russian phrase of the day. But yeah, I got it tattooed when we went to Vladivostok at the end of the Trans-Siberian Railroad and a port stop back in 2007. Little Jalen lore for you. Long time ago. Far, far away. Because when playing TF2, Jalen can only read one of our comments when he dies. So before quitting the stream, I'm waiting for him to react to my comment, and then I can finally... Oh, God. I'm sorry, Gray Sword Chad. That's the pain of streams. You can always rewatch the stream and comment there. Great Sword. I got to figure out a way to put the stream comments in my TF2, primary monitor. Because I've got my secondary monitor with OBS running and the stream running, and I got my primary monitor where I'm playing, and so I have to glance over and hopefully not die in between, readings. But there are people that are able to overlay it onto their primary monitor. If I could figure that out, I'd be much better at responding, guys. I'm sorry about that. I wish there were a easier way to do it. French art called pastry. Does that require a license? Is that like a pastry license? There's one thing I love more than a lot of things, is cooking. I love cooking. I would put myself up against, maybe not the likes of Gordon Ramsay, but some of these other YouTube mediocre chefs you find, I put myself up against them any day. But I will not mess with baking. I'll do baking, that's fine. But baking, as in stuff like pastries, it's not so much an art as it is a science, because you have to follow the recipe to the T to make it work out right. There is no room for error with baking. With regular cooking, dinners and stuff, you have a lot of artistic license there. But you can't do that with baking. I'm going to open a baking shop with pies and tarts and croissant and brioche. I almost dropped my croissant. Huh. Speaking of pies, there's one place that I will always go to for pies. It's actually they're meat pies. It's up in Boston, right next to Down East Cidery. And if you're not in the U.S., you don't recognize Down East, but Down East Cidery makes a lot of hard ciders that we sell. And there's a place I think owned by an Australian guy, and they make meat pies, like all sorts of savory pies. And it's so good. And we always go there for lunch when we go to visit them. I've been there in, I don't know, since before COVID, but it's a good spot. It's a real good spot. But making a general bakery, that's tough, man. You're gonna be turning over a lot of material, throwing stuff out every night, trying to bake it fresh in the morning. Like, you got to put in some hours, and your hours are going to be in the early morning. So just watch out for that. Like to Draw is also a fan of cooking. Great. Bacon. That's right. Like to make seafood or jumbo. You mean gumbo? Bacon pancakes from Adventure Time? Bussin' or disgusting? I've never watched Adventure Time, but I did make bacon pancakes a couple of weekends ago on my Blackstone griddle, right here. And the key is, I'm glad you asked, the key is you cut the bacon strips in half, and you put like 2 per section, 2 strips here, 2 strips here, 2 strips here. And then you pour the batter over them once the bacon is done cooking, and the grease just, the bacon is infused inside the pancake. And you throw some peanut butter and syrup on that afterwards, and maybe a couple fried eggs, and you're in heaven. But yeah, bacon goes well in pretty much everything. Yeah, someday I will have to show you guys the Blackstone griddle in action. It's just so fun. Ah, feel like a diner cook. Yeah. You get these guys going. Just whip it right up. Do anything on there. Do fried rice, steaks. It's fun. It's good stuff. Also, I like to draw. You mentioned gumbo. Well, you said jumbo. I assume you mean gumbo. I think a lot of those soups are way more intimidating than they're actually easy to do. If you've got a meat going in there, you fry that in the bottom of the pan, build the fond up, you fry your onions and all your peppers in that, and for gumbo or something, it's like it's the Creole mirepoix. I'm going off on many tangents here, but bear with me. So mirepoix is the foundation of all French cooking. It's carrots, celery, and onion. So you start off with that. You sweat that in the bottom of the pan. But for Creole cooking, it's peppers, garlic, and onion. And you sweat that in the bottom of the pan, cook it up. And you wanna sear your meats in there, get the Maillard reaction, get that nice sear on the meat or sausages or whatever it happens to be. Then you dump in all your cooking liquid and you just cook it away. And towards the end, you add your rice or your beans or whatever you're doing. Cooking is just It's so fun, and it's not difficult. It can be intimidating, but it's not difficult. You don't really eat bacon in the Netherlands. What? What? Oh, you call it jumbo. Okay. Great sword Chad only eats 1 gram of fat per day, 1 gram of carbs, and 99 grams of protein meat. Okay. I was a lughead at one point, but then I realized, not that you're not a lughead, great sword, I don't think, but I think the benefits of getting swole like that are, I don't know, compared to the quality of life of just having a balanced diet. I don't know. I can't say I would do that. I did the meal prep, and okay, chicken Caesar salad 3 times a day, blah blah blah, lean protein, fish, all that, and it's just no. I like my muscle and my fat. Carbs are tasty. Carbs are wonderful. But it is an effective way to lean out. After bulking season, you go to cutting season, and you just cut out all the carbs and everything, and you just break it right down. That's good stuff. Eric Wolf, your mother makes the best lasagna. I don't doubt that. But I have to say, I'm tired of lasagnas. Like, I grew up with anybody that has like a standard family where you have like lasagna night or you have meatloaf night. It's like, what to expect. To get a good lasagna, you got to throw some wicked herbs in there. Like, not just your standard ricotta cheese and red sauce and noodles and ground beef and blah blah. Like, that's it's so paltry. It's so blah. You got to throw fresh basil and, dare I say, a little bit of rosemary and some sage in there, and God, throw in a little thin layer of pesto just to change things up. Some sharp cheddar. I mean, there's plenty of ways to spice up your pesto. See how bad you were 150 days ago. Exaggerating on motivation, challenge, and restriction is the key to your transformation. You want to prove, like Brentley G, that changing is possible. I don't know who Brentley G is. Okay, so basically 5 months ago, you were in a bad spot, and now you're better. I'm glad to hear it. Definitely want to stay healthy. And, a lot of people will go, they'll say, oh, I need to lose weight. And they'll go right to cardio, like laser beam to cardio. Cardio is okay, but it does not get you in shape as fast as, like, mostly muscle strength, like upper body training, and then you tack in a little cardio at the end. That's, I find, the best formula for keeping things in check there. And of course, it comes down to intake versus output. What's your caloric intake versus what's your output. If you're sitting at a desk all day, then your output's not huge. So you gotta cut your intake. And when I eventually write my diet book, because someday I'll write a fitness and diet book, I will discuss the many benefits of nicotine being an appetite suppressant, and You know, there's nothing brown liquor can't cure for you. But I'm sure it'll get rejected by the World Health Organization. And I'll talk about how important bacon is for a balanced breakfast and all that. They'll probably censure me, but maybe I'll win an award. Maybe it'll be the new thing. They keep changing their minds every 5 years anyway. Whoa, eggs are bad. No, actually, eggs are really good for you. No, eggs are bad, and it just keeps going back and forth. So, I'll make the definitive guideline for manly dieting and exercise, and maybe they'll believe me. Who knows? Eric Wolf, the lasagna you have is really good, and you have it like once or twice per month. Okay, that's cool. Oh no, I'd like to draw. Your phone's about to die. Well, feel free to go to bed, man. Don't worry about it. You don't have to stick around if you don't want to. Brentley is a super fat guy that showed on TikTok his progress. Like, I can't stand up without my hands, or I can hold on a bar for 5 seconds. He's very popular. Okay, I'll have to check him out. Are you on Discord, Great Sword Chad, or are you on Steam? Because you could shoot me a link, so I don't have to remember to look it up after this. But maybe I'll remember. Brentley. He's not like Nico Avocado, I hope. Like, that guy is just off the rails. He is. Oof. Bad news bears there. He used to be so cool, and then he just. Ugh. I get disgusted thinking about it. So remember last time we had a fireside chat, we talked about, what did we talk about? We talked about actors that would play TF2 characters. People do anything for money. Yeah, it's true. Well, he certainly did. He chased that, and you can't take money with you into the grave, so I just hope he didn't do irreparable damage to himself by chasing that. But like I was saying, last time we talked about what actors would be good TF2 character portrayals, and so wondering what else we could talk about in that respect. I've got a few video ideas I'm toying with, I'm chewing on, but I just find, like, I don't know. It seems like the whole TF2 world right now is a 45-minute video where you do a challenge of using a weapon for a month or a week or something and getting 1,000 kills. And it's like, this is just, I can't, I can't do that kind of thing. That's the bandwagon. I don't want to be a part of it. I will parody it, and I did parody it, but I'm gonna have to parody it again with the Zenith one whenever I get to working on that. I don't know. Didn't you tell stories about your sailing to places too? Oh God, yeah. Best actors for TF Classic. TF Classic is not different enough. The characters are not defined enough to be able to do. But yeah, I got plenty of sailor stories. If you want to hear them. Pick a region of the world, and I'll think of a story that I had in it. The old Minesweeper days and the cruiser days. The Minesweeper was so much better, though, I gotta say. Being on a Minesweeper, it's a crew of like maybe 80 guys, right? And the Minesweepers are not, they're not integrated with the females. There's no females in the Minesweepers, at least when I was in. But I think they've probably changed that by now, because they had so many. The berths were, 40-man berths, and so you can't shove women in there with the guys and sharing bathrooms and stuff. But I think the year after I left, they finally got a female captain, which is fine because she's got her own quarters, captain's quarters. But beyond that, it's like I don't know. And then the cruiser, that's like 300 plus people, and that's a beast. That whole ship is a beast. But it's nice having the tight group on the Minesweeper. Those were the best. Those were the best days. Ugh. Commented your Discord for me, but you think it got canceled. Oh, crap. Well, send it to my Discord. My Discord is in my About section on my channel, like right here. So just friend me on Discord. What's your opinion on the Mario movie that's coming out? Why would you bother remaking or making a Mario movie when the 1990, what year was it? 1993? 1994 Mario movie was just perfect in every way. Like, I say that sarcastically because it was the Mario movie of the 90s was commonly accepted to be one of the worst of all time. But it was fun. Come on. You can't deny that. I think the actors for Mario and Luigi were drunk most of the time or high off their butts, and they were just... What a stupid movie that was. Again, I'm so disconnected from the Mario franchise because, like, I was a Nintendo child. I got the original Nintendo Entertainment System when I was 5 years old for Christmas or something like that. And after that, I had a Sega Genesis, and then a Virtual Boy, and a PlayStation 2. I never really went back to Nintendo after that, so I've been kind of emotionally disconnected from all the Mario stuff. Like, to me, Princess Toadstool is Princess Toadstool. Giving her the name Peach makes no sense. It's an abomination. Her name's Princess Toadstool, period. But I don't know. I think I remember being at a Toys R Us and seeing, the little setup they had playing Super Mario World, where they introduced Yoshi, and that was like, whoa! Can I play this? Can I? No. Like, no. You have a Sega Genesis. You gotta play Sonic and all those games. Like, fine. But I liked it better. I liked Sega Genesis anyway. Vector Man and Earthworm Jim. Classics. And then Sega went way downhill, and then they came out with Dreamcast, and then it fell apart. Sigh. But I don't know. I'll at some point I'll probably watch the Mario movie and just give it my critique. I'm sure they have to put enough little jokes in there for the adults to make it worth their while, or for my generation to kind of, remember those things. Maybe they'll do some like references to Mario 2, which was the black sheep of the entire family. They'll be like, wait a second, you're standing on a guy's head and picking him up? That doesn't make sense. I don't know. Maybe they'll throw little things in there like that. Who knows? So much to do in life, but so little time. Got plenty of time, dude. I'm telling you. Got plenty of time. I mean, if you're just in high school, you have like 8 times more of your life to go through. You got plenty of time. Plenty of time. course, there'll be plenty of emotions along the way, plenty of pain, plenty of good times. It's just a story. You gotta let God write your story, and really embrace it, because think of it this way: is life is like a quilt. So when you see someone quilting each piece and putting it together from the underside of the quilt, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't look like it all fits together. But at the very end, when they flip it over, it's a beautiful quilt, and all the patterns match, and it all makes sense in the end. So keep at it. You got plenty of time to go, man. Can you recommend me some games? Of course. I want to see you play Monster Hunter games. I don't have a Switch, unfortunately, but I could try it on my computer. I like the guy. Who's the guy that does the Monster Hunter games? He loves a sword and shield. He's got the dragon head. I forget his name, but he does. He did some D&D videos too. I gotta remember who that guy is. He's got the harpsichord opening. Due to your condition and your mother not being able to go literally outside of the land, you don't know if you'll be able to go really far. You don't have to answer, Eric, but can I ask what that condition is? If you don't want to answer, then no worries, no problem. Sounds rough, though. But even if you can't, in your own little kingdom, your own household, a man's house is his castle. Maybe you can make enough memories and get enough outreach electronically from there. I mean, we're talking, right? I'm over here in Massachusetts, USA, and you're over there, and imagine how many more people you could reach like that. I don't know. Agree with Great Sword Chad. Hope you're all right. Myofibrillar myopathy. Oh man. Sorry to hear that, Eric Wolf. May the Lord himself heal you. We don't have silver or gold to give. In the name of Jesus of Nazareth, heal Eric Wolf. Amen. Keep you in my thoughts, man. I can't imagine what that's like. It's got to be rough. Can you move around freely at least? Can you get around the house okay? 3 people in the Netherlands have this kind of condition. You had the symptoms earlier than your mother did. So what are the? I guess I'm not familiar with what it does. Is it a skeletal or muscular condition? Does it hurt to move? Hurt to walk? Weakening the muscles. Okay, gotcha. It's tough, man. Until it affects the heart and lungs. Well, as I always say, we're a family here. Like is a family, and more importantly, TF2 brings people together that wouldn't normally come together, and it's great at doing that. And so I think everybody here should have your back, and we should all be praying for you all the time. So have no fear. Even Paul had a thorn in his side that he prayed to God multiple times that, God, take this thorn out of my side. And it wasn't a literal thorn. It was a figurative thing. And God's response to him was, my grace is enough for you. And Paul was still able to do his mission, even with that. And I'm not saying you won't get healed of this, because I'm going to push that you do get healed of this. But you're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay for you, even if it hurts, even if there's problems, and even if things never go your way. In the physical world, I think you're gonna be okay. And we're all here for you. We'll all be pulling for you. And I need everybody else in the chat to be ready to do that too. Development in Canada about your condition. Maybe that will. Let's hope that comes over to you. Maybe Canada will actually perfect it, and that kind of treatment will be available in the Netherlands. Who knows? Yeah, that's tough, man. You're not like, are you wheelchair bound, or are you able to walk? I've never encountered this before, so. Hey, Micah. Thanks for hopping in. Micah, we're doing good. We're talking to Eric Wolf right now. He's got myofibrillar myopathy, which I have never encountered. I've got to Google it after this, so I grasp the full scope of it. But it sounds bad. So we got a DEFCON 1 for prayers here to help Eric Wolf out. By the way, how did you choose that name? I can only assume your first name is Eric, and then you just went with Wolf Grave because of something. I don't know. This is a pretty sweet name. Oh, so that's actually your name. All right. Nice. That's a badass name, dude. I mean, Wolf Grave by itself, that's awesome too. But Eric Wolf Grave. It sounds like an author's name. You could write a book, I bet. I thought that was just your screen name. It's your actual name. That's pretty badass. Not gonna lie. Of course, Micah's got a good name too. Micah, named after Micah the prophet. Book of Micah. It was in the Bible too. First Chronicles 4:17. It doesn't really have a story behind it. It's just literally a list of names. Like one of those times where they go, you know, Joe begat John, and John begat Jimmy, and Jimmy begat Jason, and it just goes on, and Jalen's in there. It's just the Hebrew meaning is Yalon. Hebrew pronunciation is Yalon, which Yah is for God and Lon is abides, so it's God abides, something like that, I guess. On a lighter note, you're going to a robotics competition tomorrow. What? Did you build a robot, Micah? Greatsword is an MH weapon used by Giga Chads. Okay. Oh, Monster Hunter. That's what MH stands for. Every time I hear Monster Hunter, I think of Monster Rancher. You guys remember Monster Rancher, the PlayStation? Where every different CD, like you'd go to the ranch and you'd go to birth a new monster, and the game would pause, and you had to open the CD tray and put in a different CD. And every different music CD or other video game CD created a unique monster. It was wild. I think of Monster Rancher every time you say Monster Hunter. And then you could like breed the different monsters and train them up and fight them. It's like Pokemon for educated people. Okay, hold on. We were talking about you're going to the robotics conference. What are you doing at the robotics conference? Eric means eternal rule. Yeah. Eric the Red, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you can put in any CD. What's the point of the robotics conference, Micah? Or what are you bringing something, or are you just going to observe? Scouting the other teams for alliances. It's first. Not familiar with that. For alliances? Alliances in what? Maybe I just don't understand. Is it alliances in a future competition or something? First tech challenge, look it up. All right, I'll have to look that up after this because I don't know. There are robot battles were fun. Was that Robot Wars? Where they put the two, little like Roomba kind of robots in the ring and to fight each other until one of them gets destroyed. I think the robots that always won, maybe I'm not remembering it correctly, maybe I'm making this up in my mind, but I thought the robots that always won were either the fast ones that would just zip around and knock over, like Sonic the Hedgehog knocking over the other robot over and over again, flying through it, or the tanky ones that had like the Halloween mode, mallet that came down, like they had a trigger in front of them, so when the other robot came up to them, it would just bash them on the top of the head. I'm probably just making that all up, though. I don't remember. There are teams there. you're going to a qualifier event tomorrow. Each match, there are various ways to score points. Combat is against the rules. Oh, BattleBots. Yes, BattleBots is what I was thinking of. Each match is 4 teams, 2 per alliance. So you have to... The teams have to make robots to accomplish non-combat tasks. Is that it? So you reminded me of a story, if that's the case, of there was a competition where robots. There was a maze, right? There was a maze laid out, and there was a fire, a little candle in one end of the maze, and you had to design a robot, quote unquote, that would explore the maze. I forget the exact requirements. It had to explore the maze. It had to snuff out the candle, and then it had to not destroy anything, not spread the fire accidentally or anything. And these people designed various robots. Some of them did it, some of them didn't. And this one team brought in a block of dry ice, and they just shoved it in there in the starting spot. The dry ice melted, and the carbon dioxide vapor went all through the maze, snuffed out the candle, accomplished all the requirements, and they had to give them the award because it did the mission. It's supposed to help remove rivalries and build teamwork. Huh. Okay. Well, hopefully, are you bringing a robot to this, Micah, or are you just starting? Are you fresh in there? I'd be curious what kind of tasks they have to have the robots do. I would assume there's navigation involved, simple picking up things and putting them down in other places, maybe. I'm not sure. Okay, hold on. Sorry. It's supposed to be rivalries. Yeah. At the end of the day, the top 4 teams get to pick who will play with them in the semifinal matches for the day. You reach your time limit. Oh, yeah, great story, Chad. Go to bed, man. Godspeed, man. I'll check out your YouTube, absolutely. Doing this since 2018. This year, it's weird. You're emotionally tired like a draw. Yeah, I get you, man. I can't explain this year either. You guys know Mandy, my little dog Mandy, passed away the day after Christmas, so... And the day before Christmas, she was just a vegetable. Like, she was incontinent. And for a couple of days before that, but... Christmas sucked. New Year's sucked. This has been an awful time of year. And even coming home today, wanting to see her, expecting to see her, with her paws up on the door, barking, and she's not there. And it's just, this year just blows. The end of the year, anyway. But I get you. I get what vibes you're referencing, for sure. These little flowers when we had her put down, they put on her. They gave us a little casket and everything. Those will be with me here forever. Let me move on. But she's still with us. She's with Jesus now. And from what I understand, based on what the scripture says anyway, there's no time the concept of time and distance is different in the spirit. It doesn't exist in the spirit. So for all I know, I'm already there with her again, in her perspective. But from my perspective, being trapped in 4 dimensions, it's just a matter of time. I'm stuck viewing time as snapshots over the course of, my life. But it'll be good. It'll be good. All things work together for our good. Those that worship the Lord. And we do. And we should too. Can't explain it either, man. Painful year. But we're getting through it. And if nothing else, you got family. You've got your community, you've got your neighbors, you've got your friends. But at a bare minimum, at a last safety net here, we got each other. I know it's cliche to say that, but it really is a point where we should all have each other's backs. And, that's how you interconnect everybody. That's how you establish the kingdom, I think. So take heart. In this world you will have many troubles and many trials and many problems, but fear not, for I have conquered the world. As Jesus said himself. So we're okay. We're going to be all right. Press on. We hold our hands out like heavy in front of the train on the end of the line. We hold our hands out and we defy the odds. But yeah, I think some of you guys are getting tired. I'm getting tired too. It's been a good night. A good night to have a little fireside chat, because I needed this. I need to just unwind with you. And I need a drink refill. Luckily, I thought ahead and brought my drink refill with me. Just to stay frosty. But with that, anything else you guys want to talk about? Otherwise, I'm going to say goodnight. And maybe I'll hop on a little bit later for some epic frags. I don't know. I did download, I got to tell you. I downloaded, and here's our candle from today. The bacon and bourbon scented candle. It is delicious. It smells great. It smells good enough to eat. I did download Open Fortress, and I re-downloaded TF2 Classic because since I got my new PC, I didn't have it on there. And I gotta say, Open Fortress, Flippy's been telling me about Open Fortress, like how good it is. And I got a chance to play it a little bit today, and I gotta say that it's pretty good. It's if you like that deathmatch kind of scenario, it's good. Everybody's on a level playing field. Everybody has 150 HP. You all start with a pistol, and there's various weapons you can pick up around the map that you can, you got rocket launchers, grenade launchers, whatever. My favorite was a double-barreled shotgun. On my first match, I got like a 5-kill streak with that, so that was fun. But there's literally no rhyme or reason to it. It's just keep shooting each other until somebody gets whatever it is, 45 kills or something, and then the match is over. So that was enjoyable. I might do a stream on it. The ping was quite high because there's not many servers out there running it, at least here in the East Coast U.S. But maybe elsewhere, I don't know. And TF2 Classic is TF2 Classic. It's just good. It's good. It's so clean because you don't have all the crazy cosmetics to deal with. Weapon selection's a little lackluster. Playing medic is awful in TF2 Classic because you're stuck with the syringe gun. That's it. You can choose your medigun, either the regular medigun or the Kritzkrieg. Whoa, big deal. But the Kritzkrieg is a little different. Looks a little funkier. And then you got like 3 different melee options. One of and that's an interesting one. You've got the regular bone saw. You've got the antenna thing, where if you hit a teammate with the antenna, it refills their health completely. I think at the cost of some amount of Uber charge or something. I forget what it is. But then the third melee option for medic, which I don't remember from before, is like a combination of the Vita saw and the Uber saw that gives you 25% Uber on hit, but it reduces your health by 10 points. That's interesting. That's a hardcore balance thing that I don't know. I like that. I think that works for TF2 Classic. I wouldn't do it in regular TF2 because it's just so neutering, but it's pretty good for the game. But yeah, the medic melee options, the medic primary options being limited to syringe gun sucks. Engineer has 0 options besides his secondary. You can have the pistol, you can have the coil gun, which is okay in tight maps, I guess, but in wide open maps, no good. But yeah, we'll do some streams. I keep saying, yeah, tomorrow we'll finish the laser stream. Tomorrow we will finish the laser stream, barring any acts of God. We'll finish the laser stream with a man melter, and then after that we'll explore. We'll do some open fortress. We'll do some TF2 Classic maybe on future streams. So I think we're gonna call it there tonight, guys. Thank you for joining me on this adventure and for relaxing with me by this beautiful propane fire pit. It's too windy outside for a normal fire. So, cheers, and God bless. Cease its recording. Oh, there we go.